Seek simplicity, but do not trust it. Alfred North Whitehead. It may seem odd to examine Blake through the writing of a philosopher who spent half his life seeking to repair the damage of his youthful enthusiasm for logic as a final definitive model for our understanding of our position in the cosmos. In his book Principia Mathematica, co-written with Bertrand Russell. But Whitehead went on to propose a model of the cosmos based on the experience of all substances, inorganic and otherwise. Blake's art is the embodiment of this aesthetic ontology that Whitehead reveals as the really real model of the universe, in which all things are relational drops of experience as opposed to the handful of elementary ingredients that act like bricks in a gigantic Lego set, and with which the entire material reality surrounding us is constructed, as proposed by Carlo Rovelli in 7 Brief Lessons in Physics. Whitehead calls this kind of approach an abstraction from connectedness, and seeks to re-entangle us with the cosmos via a radical empiricism. This is a return to the experience of the senses as part of nature, in which a sense of care and importance is reconstituted, instead of the senses being regarded as probes extending from a command module of rational cognition. It is Whitehead's new caring sensory model of the human organism we also find in Blake's euphoritopian crescendo to Jerusalem. And every man stood fourfold, each 4 faces had, one to the west, one to the east, one to the south, one to the north. The horses fourfold, and the dim chaos brightened beneath, above, around, eyed as the peacock. According to the human nerves of sensation, the 4 rivers of the water of life. South stood the nerves of the eye, east in rivers of bliss the nerves of the expansive nostrils, west flowed the parent sense, the tongue, north the labyrinthine ear, circumscribing and circumcising the excrementitious husk and covering into vacuum evaporating, revealing the lineaments of man, driving outward the body of death in an eternal death and resurrection, awaking it to life among the flowers of Beulah, rejoicing in unity in the 4 senses, in the outline, the circumference and form, forever in the forgiveness of sins, which is self-annihilation. It is the covenant of Jehovah. The form of this self-annihilation is the loss of the ego's critical distance to once more rejoin us with nature in a precognitive state of emergence, where belief in sensation liberates us from the shame of being human. Alfred North Whitehead sought to correct what he saw as the bifurcation of seeing subjective experience as a secondary mode to the primary source of abstracted truth. Instead, he tried to find a model merging the two, recentering feeling or aesthetic understanding and reinstalling conceptual thinking as an ancillary helpful navigational tool. Likewise, in his use of contrast, Blake was not suggesting we stop at the dichotomy of innocence and experience, but instead, through an analog language of material vitality, we rediscover the sense of immanence found in the dew-soaked realm of emergence. Time and time again, Blake directs us to a sense of transcendence found in the particulars of a local world, reversing the Enlightenment's model of Platonian perfection, of which this life is seen as a flawed projection. To live in Blake's aesthetic ontology, then, the conceptual is reinvigorated as a helpful servant rather than the creator and foreboding ruler of all. In the apparent simplicity of Blake's poetry, he anticipates this decentering of the anthropocentric cognitive command post so that we may once more feel the sense of care woven into the very fabric of the cosmos. Away to Sweet Felpham, for heaven is there. The ladder of angels descends through the air.